Hi, my name is Henry Taliercio. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. As I was growing up, my cousin Dominic, he was third man in the Colombo family. I would see him get out of his car, he'd get out of his little Cadillac, and he was always dressed perfectly. And I'd ask him, hey Dom, hey cuz, you got any money? And he'd take out a big roll of money and peel off a $20 or a $10 bill and give it to me. And I was so impressed with that. As I was growing up, I wanted to be just like cousin Dominic. So when I became 16 years old, I had the opportunity to be just like him. And I got a job running numbers. And I would pick up numbers, and I'd probably pick up about $10,000 worth of numbers a day and take them into Manhattan. And I got my start at age 16 to be a part of organized crime. So I remember I had got in debt for $22,000. I was a real bad gambler. In a week's time to John Gotti and John Gotti's crew in New York. And they sent a man out to get their money, and this man was sent to hurt me if he didn't get paid. Well, I knew the man, and I said to him, I said, Johnny, listen, either I'm gonna get killed or you're gonna get killed, but either way, nobody's gonna get their money. If anybody touches me, I'm not giving a dime. And I would have probably been killed. I wound up coming up with the money by doing the first stick-up that I had ever done. So I went and I put crazy glue on my fingers and disguised myself a little bit. And I walked in this store and I robbed this store.
Put your hands up, put your hands up. Open the register, Come on, open it up. Let's go, let's go.
And I was more afraid than the person that I robbed. My hand was so shaking. I went in and I remember handcuffing them in the bathroom, taking all the stuff that I had to take and selling it, getting out of debt. But my life continually went downhill. And I would go to a shooting gallery. A shooting gallery is a place where everybody would get together. You give the guy who owns the shooting gallery a couple of dollars or some heroin or whatever, and he would let you use his needle and stuff. Well, I remember meeting my friend Phil there. I would always see Phil there. And he would tell me, Henry, we don't belong here. And I'd tell him, right, Phil, where do we belong? And he says, we need to be serving Jesus. And I say, get out of here with that stuff. The next day, he came and got me, and he said, Henry, I'll take you to a place called Teen Challenge. Well, I had already been in 3 drug programs. So I went into Teen Challenge, and I didn't even know this was a Christian program. And God continually put people in my path that had marks all over their arms, just like I did. And I knew that they seriously had a drug problem. And I heard them saying, praise the Lord, and Henry, this is really real, that God touched my life. And I said, well, you know what? My life's been such a mess for so many years. Let me see if this is true. And I remember staying in that program and God changing my life. This man spoke into my life who did not know me from a hole in the wall. And he said that God is leading you to a place where you'll be a double-edged sword. You can either cut or tear. I didn't understand that at the time. But he said, God is calling you to enlarge the borders of your tent. My second day in Teen Challenge, God spoke to my heart and said, there was a man named Kevin Hennessy there who spoke and preached, and it really touched my heart. And I was like in awe of this man. And I said, God, one day I want to do that. And the Lord spoke to my heart. And I even know it was the Lord at the time. But something in my heart told me, not only are you going to do this, but you're going to open up a program just like this. As the years progressed, I believed that God maybe was going to use me to help someone else start it, because now I was getting old and my health was starting to get a little worse. So I just positioned myself, or believed that God is going to use me to help somebody. Well, one day I was at lunch with my friend Ernie, and I got a phone call from my friend Loretta. And Loretta said, Henry, Pastor Henry, Shelley just called me and said that there's a building available. Would you like to go see it? Do you want to, are you still starting a Teen Challenge? I said, well, let me go see the building, with no hope that anything would happen. Well, as soon as I turned the corner, God spoke to my heart and said, this is it, Henry. I waited 26 years to hear the voice of God on this subject, and God spoke to my heart and said, this is it. God has used it to start a ministry just like I was in. We have that ministry up and running. It's a ladies' ministry. It's called the Father's Heart Ministry, and it's a residential program. The women are here from 8 to 12 months. All their needs are taken care of, and it's a discipleship program. Anyone with any kind of life-controlling problem, any woman over the age of 18 is welcome in that. So I remember going to Cornerstone TV, calling them and asking if they would have us on. This way we can let them know about the Father's Heart Ministry. So we did, and Kathy Henry had me on focus for her and her son, and she said, well, what are your immediate needs for the outreach building? So I said, our immediate needs are a roof. That's the first thing we're gonna need. So I remember what she did, and it was so cute. She looked into the camera and she said, if there are any roofers out there that would like to help or volunteer some time, something like that, she said, just go to your phone and call the number on the screen. Because of Cornerstone Television, God just raised up an army to get behind us. There are just so many people that are coming around us and being a part of what God is doing in the Father's Heart Ministries.